think had they not put this in place, there probably wouldn't be as many kids after what happened at the game last week in Choctaw.
It has now been a week since the shooting at a Choctaw High School football game, and tonight we're digging into how schools are strengthening security both at sporting events and in the classroom. First, we're looking at how the Midwest City community is coming together to honor 16-year-old Corday Carter, who was killed in that shooting. Fox 25's David Chazanoff joins us live from Jim Darnell Stadium, where Carter's high school played tonight. So, David, how are people remembering him?
Wendy, about a couple dozen people gathered at Kiwanis Park about 5 minutes away from the stadium for a balloon release. Now the family tells me it was quite a meaningful day for them.
Corday is my big brother, and I'm here to celebrate for my birthday, and I'm going to miss him.
On Friday afternoon at Kiwanis Park, about 50 people held hands in a prayer circle led by Corday Carter's mother.
People, they just need to stop all the violence.
Family, friends, and even co-workers brought blue and silver balloons with them to pay tribute.
I'm very emotional. It lets me know he touched everybody. He was there for everybody. Just seeing everybody coming out here to support them is a lot.
Hours later, the high school Carter went to played its first football game since the incident.
We have to go through.
Students and parents saw new safety features at the game.
I think it's unfortunate that it's come to this, but I think it's a necessary evil after what's happened.
Jim Darnell Stadium had a much larger police presence as well, and everyone had to enter through a weapon detection system.
I would feel better for there to be security measures in place than not, so that you can go and do what you're supposed to do at a football game, which is enjoy the game and not have to worry about your surroundings.
Students also had to wear their ID on a lanyard, and officers made sure to check every bag before it entered the stadium.
I would probably not have brought my grandson with me had they not made those changes. It would have made me a little skeptical after last week.
Now, a Midwest City staff member tells us Corday was honored during a school pep rally today. Reporting live in Midwest City, David Chazanoff, Fox 25 News.
David, thank you. Choctaw police still want to talk to more witnesses after last Friday's shooting. The police chief says there have been a lot of questions from the community that he can't yet give answers to, but he does hope to once the investigation is complete and presented to the district attorney. Investigators say they have interviewed more than 50 people so far. If you saw or heard anything related to that shooting, contact Choctaw Police. You can find more information on OKCFox.com. In a similar scene to last Friday, a high school football game in Baltimore erupted in chaos tonight after a suspect opened fire into a crowd near the game. You can hear the shots fired in this video before the crowd is seen running for cover or dropping to the ground. An 11-year-old boy was shot and taken to the hospital. Police say the child is expected to recover. A security officer began to chase after the suspect but was unable to catch him. Right now, police are still searching for that suspect. In the largest school training session the state's ever had, Enid Public Schools is taking a proactive approach to potential shooting incidents. Fox 25's Peyton May takes us through Run, Hide, Fight, the tactics now front and center for saving lives.
About 1,000 teachers and staff members are training, so if there were an active shooter coming down these hallways, they'll be prepared.
One of the scenarios is how they react and respond to the sound of gunfire. One of the things we concentrate on is that they don't take long to process information, trying to figure out what it is and quickly move into a reactionary phase.
Daniel Redmond, who has taught over 100 Run, Hide, Fight classes, is hoping for this reaction. These are the scenarios Enid Public School safety and security teams are preparing their staff for, a situation the district is unfortunately familiar with.
December 8th of last year, we were part of one of the swatting calls that affected many school districts in the state of Oklahoma.
Thankfully, there wasn't a real threat, but the schools still had to make some changes.
So we made adjustments such as lockdown buckets in each classroom, how to make sure that your room appears to be empty, shades over any glass, lights off.
The goal is that the repeated actions taught in training become muscle memory and give teachers the confidence to make a quick decision to save their students.
And I started thinking about, oh, I could move this cabinet. Oh, I have a paper cutter in my room. I could do some damage with that. It made me look at my room in a new way.
While the focus has been on educators, there will also be an emphasis on teaching students what to do in a traumatic situation. Reporting in Enid, Peyton May, Fox 25 News.
Improving school security has been a big focus in our state ever since the school shooting tragedy in Uvalde, Texas last year. In June of 2022, Governor Kevin Stitt issued an executive order called Mission SOS, Secure Oklahoma Schools. It is a 7-point plan based on recommendations from top law enforcement. The mandate requires every Oklahoma Highway Patrol trooper to be trained in active shooter emergency response. He spoke with Fox News last year about the executive order, which he says protects Second Amendment rights while preventing school mass shootings.
Some of these shootings and active shooter situations, we see that around the country happening, and we want to take practical steps today in Oklahoma to make sure we protect our citizens. We make sure law enforcement is properly trained, properly funded. They have all the resources, the tools that they need. And so by talking to my public safety commissioner, that's what we wanted to do. We wanted to do an assessment for every single school across the state of Oklahoma. We wanted to make sure that all of the municipal law enforcement have the up-to-date training to know exactly what to do. They have all the tools that they need. We wanted to put technology inside the school districts to make sure that our teachers are well prepared, that they can identify behavioral issues. So there's a whole list of things that we're planning on doing to take practical steps to make sure that every citizen and every person is as safe as we can make it here in the state of Oklahoma.
In January of this year, the governor announced all state troopers met the Mission SOS training requirements. OHP wants schools to be confident in their response when it comes to a possible active shooter situation. Troopers are now training other agencies and school districts, and that way everyone has the same plan.
Troopers are in every community. They're everywhere, all 77 counties. And so troopers were dispersed throughout their counties, where they work with other municipalities, other deputies, and they're able to take that training there and train them. It's not just law enforcement, but it's all first responders. You've got emergency medical, you've got fire, you have emergency management. You have all of these different things coming together, and we're all operating together to make sure that it is safe.
Oklahoma school districts also have access to the Rave mobile safety app. Teachers and students can push a button if they are in danger.
That notification goes immediately to troopers in that geographic location that are on duty and off duty, and we're responding within minutes. Law enforcement officers are making entry within minutes, no matter if it's rural or city.
Oklahoma started working with Rave Mobile Safety 3 years ago, and as of last year, the governor's office said almost 93% of public and charter schools had opted in to use the panic button. A school district in Green Bay, Wisconsin has added a unique security measure to its schools after a swatting incident last year. The schools already had an intercom system to alert people to an active shooter, but they found that people can't hear it in large and loud spaces like auditoriums and gyms. So they now have a blinking colored light system with 8 different colors that mean 8 different things. Purple signifies a lockdown intruder alert. It's just one feature of the new $1.8 million alert system. Each staff member also has a special badge.
Allows any staff member to ask for help just by clicking a button on their badge. That will trigger an alert to the building team, who will come and see the person on the map and find them and go help them.
If there's a big enough threat, staff will also have the opportunity to set off the alarm system or lock down the school by constantly clicking the button. This will also notify local law enforcement. And that was your big story breakdown tonight. You can find more on Oklahoma's school security efforts on OKCFox.com.